I know that there have been memorials for these children. There's been on TV that the last time one of them was seen was in Yellowstone Park. The last time they seen going across the lawn, one of the children, it's been on TV, the digging of the property and finding of the bodies, discussion about how the condition of the body. So all of that's going to weigh on everybody in this county, I'm confident.
That's a local expert out in East Idaho talking about the Doomsday couple case and the way it has been portrayed very heavily locally in the media. I mean, every trial we cover here on Court TV, I would say 90% of them are like, when you get to the city where the case is taking place, people know about them because we cover high-profile cases. That's what we do at Court TV. This one, though, is on a whole different level. And I think it goes beyond just being, you know, hey, this is a big story in East Idaho. No, this is a big story across the globe. We're talking, of course, about Lori Vallow Daybell and her husband, Chad Daybell. Well, things are a little quiet right now, right? You hear that? A little quiet. Things are going to heat up very quickly in 2021 because right out of the bat, first week of 2021, they're going to be back in court fighting. And one of the issues that is really being contested here is where should this case be heard? So both sides file a lot of papers. And unlike other news organizations, we actually go into the court files. We read the papers to find out what everybody's saying and what the battles are about and what it may mean for the trial ahead. So one of the issues is that the defense wants this case moved out. And one way you do that before you even attempt to pick a jury is you kind of take a survey of the local community. And this is done in a lot of cases to find out, you know, what is the general consensus. You take a poll. I know you don't trust polls all the time, but they take a poll of the community to try to get some evidence to present to the court to say, listen, Judge, we shouldn't even try to pick a jury here because we've done this incredible survey and here's all the information that we found out as to why we can't get a fair trial in this jurisdiction. Well, the state wants some information from the defense who is doing this, and they've filed a request for that information. Let me put it up on the screen. The state is looking for, specifically including but not limited to, information about any witnesses the defense intends to call or otherwise use to introduce evidence of a survey or poll taken at the direction of the defendant in Fremont, Madison, or Bonneville counties, Idaho, or any witness the defense has relied upon to create a survey or poll. Also, they want the facts or data upon which said expert bases his or her opinions or inferences, any articles, reports, treatises, books, periodicals, or other documents used or reviewed the substance of said expert's opinion or testimony. Because there's going to be an expert that's going to say, listen, we can't hold the trial here. I guarantee you that's what the expert's going to say. I haven't even seen the results of the poll, but that's what it's going to say. All right? And they want to know the basis of all this. So let's talk about this. This is a big issue. So let's bring back in Chanley Painter, legal correspondent, and anchor Ted Rollins. Chanley, so what do we know about the survey? I think I know what the results are going to be, but I'm just guessing. But what do we know about the survey?
All right. Well, the survey, the results, they haven't been filed in the court file. So we're going to find all of this out January 6th, 2021, when they have the huge joint hearing for both Chad and Lori. They both have motions to change venue. They want this trial, their joint trial, out of East Idaho altogether to Western Idaho. And in the memo that Chad Daybell's attorney filed recently explaining about half a dozen reasons why this judge should move out of Fremont County, what stood out was this survey that the defense has conducted. In fact, let's pull up a portion of that and read it from the memo. It says, this survey, it shows that not only was the person conducting the survey presented with threats from Bonneville, Madison, and Fremont counties, that the vast majority of people interviewed stated that they have already made up their mind regarding the guilt of the defendants. Further, that the vast majority would not change their mind. And we know that's the law in Idaho, that they will not be able to impanel a fair and impartial jury. This is what the defense has to show. So that's what they're arguing in their brief. Now, to give everyone a better idea of why the defense is asking, not just in Fremont County, because that's where Chad and Lori are charged with their conspiracy counts together in Fremont County. They're also asking, we can't have a fair trial in Madison or Bonneville counties either. So here in Idaho, let's show we have Rexburg. That's where most of the action took place. Lori Vallow Daybell, Chad Daybell. Boise, over here, the capital of Idaho, is where they are hoping in Ada County that this trial would be moved to. That's much more populated. For example, that's around 481,000 people in Ada County, where Boise is. In Rexburg is Madison County. That's around 40,000 people in Madison County. Fremont County, where this case is charged, is around 13,000 people. Very rural there in East Idaho. And then Bonneville is where Idaho Falls is. That's around 119,000 people. So a little more populated, but they want it all out of here, East Idaho, because they feel that the LDS influence, the prejudicial media, all of these factors would prevent them from having a fair and impartial jury, and they're alleging this survey supports it.
You know, it's interesting. It seems almost like, Ted, they really want this trial in like California or Oregon. They want to get as close as they can, right? Because you have a lot of transplants are moving from California into Boise, right? And I think they like that jury pool a little better than the conservative folks in East Idaho.
Yeah, well, I think anybody would want a California jury out of any other jury. But the problem here, Chanley alluded to it, was the LDS factor. And you go to Boise on the other side of the state, and it's not as prevalent. So you don't have that same X factor. We've talked about it before. I think it's a big part of this. Whether or not the survey is going to shed more light on that, who knows? But we all know what the results of this survey are going to be, like you say, Vinny, but the results are going to be accurate. I mean, there's no one, everyone knows about this case there, and everyone's disgusted with these defendants there. And no matter what you think of them, they do deserve a fair trial. And this would be a colossal mistake not to move it, because it'll be the number one appeal reason for appeal, and it will have legitimacy.
Yeah, I like to try to get the jury first before I move it, but I understand the survey. They're trying to be, a little proactive. Chanley, were there some threats in all of this? What is that all about?
That word really stood out to me when I read this document. Why these attorneys? We know these attorneys are great attorneys. They're intentional with the language that they would choose in these documents. And it says that there are threats. This person conducting the survey presented with threats while in Bonneville, Madison, and Fremont counties. So that makes me think something may be up there where they would argue that people are so intense, kind of like Ted said, they've made up their mind. They dislike the defendant so much that they don't want to have any part of this. They don't want to be a part of the trial, the jury. They made up their mind, and nothing is going to change their mind. So that seems to be that's going to be something we'll hear from John Pryor and Mark Means, probably, because he's going to be arguing for Lori on January 6th. That's another reason that people are so passionate about this there that even if we try, it's not even worth trying, Vinny, in East Idaho.
I don't know, Ted. Do you think they were real? I mean, I think the LDS people, of course, there's good ones and bad ones of any group of people that you want to generalize about. But generally speaking, probably nice people. Not going to be threatening people.
I would hate to say that the person that's claiming there were threats against them was lying, because that's what, if we don't believe that, that's basically what's going to, and we're going to find out, right? That person's going to be there, will be under oath, presumably, and we'll talk about the threats, and the judge will have an opportunity to assess those threats, the legitimacy of those threats. It seems far-fetched, but this case is crazy. And it does, just when this was all playing out, I was screaming at my television, "Where are your kids?" It does, what is alleged here does invoke some emotion and I can't imagine living there.
All right, here's the big question, Chanley. Are they going to be together on January 6th? Is there going to be some sort of reunion? Because I don't think, it's been a while since Chad and Lori, the Doomsday couple, have been together.
It has been a while. And in fact, the last time they were able to appear jointly, it would be via Zoom, but they could have seen each other. Remember, Lori opted not to appear. She waived her appearance during that joint hearing a couple of months ago. So January 6th, though, now that they are co-defendants, and this hearing, as of right now, is an in-person hearing. They both have motions to change venue. They both have motions to dismiss. It very likely will be a reunion of the couple in court together in person.
Yep. January 2021, much different for them than January 2020. January 2020, down in Hawaii with a bag of money. Now they're locked up, but in court. Interesting. All right, Chanley Painter, Ted Rollins, thank you both so much.